The other day, I was doing some of my work at a cafe. When I was done, I packed up my things, grabbed my matcha latte, and headed towards the door. While I was walking there, I noticed a barista who was finishing her shift, and so she was heading towards the exit as well. She just so happened to reach the door before I did, so she held it open for me. As I walked through, I smiled and said thank you, and she turned around, looked at me, and said, "You're welcome. I love your hair." I was a little surprised in that moment, not just because I didn't feel like it was one of my better hair days, but also because I was moving around on autopilot mode. You know those moments when you're going through the motions, but you have thoughts on your mind, and so you're there, but not really there. So, taken by surprise, I found myself responding as almost in slow motion. "Thanks, I like your hair too." But as soon as those words left my mouth, I sensed something felt off. I didn't know exactly what it was. I couldn't articulate it in the moment, but something just didn't sit right with me. So I got in the car, and as I was driving home, I was thinking about our interaction. I knew that what I said wasn't mean in any way, but I wondered what about it felt not so great, what felt off. I thought about the compliment I gave her, and I asked myself, why did I need to compliment her too? Like, why didn't I just say thank you? I also asked myself if I would have complimented her if she hadn't complimented me first. And my answer was like, honestly, I'll never know. But my guess is that I would have complimented her overall style, which I did notice, but not necessarily her hair. And maybe the fact that what I was thinking didn't match what came out of my mouth made what I said somehow inauthentic. And perhaps that's what felt off to me. So that interaction kind of stayed with me for a couple of days. And one day I was out taking a walk, and I was passing by this area I usually walk by. But for some reason, there's a red box that's there. That's obviously always there. But on that particular day, it just really stood out to me. So I walked closer to it and just looked at it. I don't know why I was looking at it. I don't know why I felt called to notice it. But what I have learned over time is that sometimes I can't make meaning of something in the moment, but if I take a picture of it and revisit it later, I can usually receive a message. And so that's what I did. I took a picture and kept on walking. Later, when I looked back at that picture, I noticed a gold label. And on the label, it said, "Take a book, give a book," or "Take a book, share a book," something like that. But the idea was that it was a book exchange. And I began to think about the idea of an exchange. And in this instance, a book exchange. I thought, how wonderful, right? Like, I could read a book and enjoy it or not, but leave it for someone else to also have their own experience. And they could do the same for me. And in thinking of the exchange, it somehow sparked my memory of the interaction a couple of days prior. And I thought about how in that moment, the woman was trying to give me something, but I transformed our interaction into something of an exchange. And so I sat with that and I wondered, why did I do that? Like, why didn't I just say thank you and just accept and receive the compliment? And what I realized was that in that moment, I didn't give myself permission to fully receive. In that moment, I felt like I had to give something back to her. I had to reciprocate. I had to brighten her day like she brightened mine. But maybe that's not what she was looking for. Maybe she just wanted to feel the joy of giving. And because I couldn't fully receive, I somehow prevented that. I also began to think about different kinds of interaction. I thought about the beauty of giving. Moments when I just give because I want to, because it feels joyful to give. I also thought of moments of exchange where it's give and take, and that feels good too. But then I also thought about moments when I'm just supposed to receive. That's it. Simply receive. I wondered, what would that feel like to just receive? I thought of memories in the past where people gave me a gift or treated me to something. And my first thought after feeling grateful was to think about how I could repay them. Like, how could I give them something as well? But I wondered what it would feel like to just receive it, to just allow myself to know what that feels like, to be seen and even pampered a little bit. And so looking at that picture reminded me of the different kinds of interactions that we're each meant to have. Making sure that I don't allow it to become one and not the other two, but making sure that my life flows so that I'm able to experience all of them, because that's what helps to make my life really full. I hope this helps. Thank you for spending time in the studio. I'm Tiara, and I'll see you next time.